For Lecture 2, I'm going to discuss the importance of getting full range of motion in your arms as well as your legs. To reiterate, ROM simply stands for range of motion, and range of motion is the ability to get the full rotation of your arms as well as your legs. So I'm going to get into that for this lecture. I'm going to tell you the importance of those things and some of the things that you could do to make sure that your athletes are getting ROM in their arms and their legs. Having good range of motion will do three things for your athlete. The first is it is going to allow your athlete to reach their full potential of their stride length. The second thing that having full range of motion does for your athlete is it allows them to step over their knee, which leads to number 3, it allows them to apply as much force as possible back to the track. This is what allows your athlete to run as fast as they possibly can. So in my opinion, if you teach an athlete to use their arms to their full range of motion first, I think everything else, their posture, the dorsiflex toe, all of that other stuff will fall into place. Now, the easiest way of having your athlete get the full range of motion in their arms is by first having them keep their arms at 90 degrees. Secondly, as they're swinging their arms, they want to make sure that they're getting full separation from their bodies. The easiest cue that I use for my athletes is make sure that your hands are cheek to cheek, referring to when their hands in front of them, it should be around their cheek, and when their hands behind them, it should be around their cheek or their buttocks. Also, you want to make sure that as your athlete is swinging or sweeping their arms, that they are driving their elbows back and keeping their arms at a 90-degree angle. It is that sweeping motion that allows your athlete to apply as much force to the track as possible. Make sure that you pay attention to the alligator arms. You want to stop that as soon as you see it, because with arms like these, it actually stops you from getting the full range of motion in your arms, which will also cut off your stride, which will also prevent you from putting as much force into the track as possible. Now, typically, if your athlete is getting full range of motion in their arms, then they will also have full range of motion in their legs. So I'm going to give you a few cues that you could look at to make sure that your athlete is getting that full range of motion in their legs also. 3 things that you will see when your athlete is getting full range of motion in their legs is 1, their knee will pop forward. 2, the knee will step over the inside of the other knee. And 3, the foot will cycle back underneath their hips. So as you see here, knee will pop forward, the cycle motion happens, and then the foot comes right back underneath the hips. Now, I love using the cue cycle because I have the kids mentally see themselves riding a bicycle and their foot as they're sprinting is doing the same exact motion. As sprinters, we must have frontside mechanics. So having full range of motion in your arms helps your legs and prevents you from having backside mechanics. Backside mechanics show that your athlete is not using the full range of motion in their arms, which is cutting off their legs, which will prevent them from running as fast as they possibly can because of the lack of force application back to the track. So to reiterate this lecture, you want to make sure that each of your athletes is getting full range of motion in their arms as well as their legs, because it will increase their potential stride length, it will allow their legs to step over their inside knee, and it will also, most importantly, get them to apply more force into the track, which is going to allow them to run faster. I'll talk to you next time about the importance of the dorsiflex toe in lecture 3. I'll see you then.